Count 1, guilty. Count 2, guilty. Count 3, guilty. Count 4, guilty. Count 5, guilty. Count 6, not guilty. That's the latest, the verdict in the Jussie Smollett trial, the Jussie Smollett, the Juicy Snowman, as I call him, trial. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is the Cultural Confederacy. It is Thursday night. We'll take a look at the headlines as they're breaking here. So guilty on 5 of the 6 counts. Now, for all those of you who love this country, you know that this country is not racist, sexist, homophobic. And you own a Confederate battle flag, an American flag, a Betsy Ross flag, a Don't Tread on Me flag, a Bonnie Blue flag, a Sons of Liberty flag. I want you to get out in the streets now. As soon as you click on this video, get out in the streets now. I want you to say, down with the SJWs, down with racism, down with the KKK, and up with America. See what type of media attention that gets as you're carrying your Confederate battle flag. So let's go to foxnews.com, and if you like the video, click that like button, subscribe, hit me up on Instagram at #JasonComposes, leave comments below. Now you can reach me at Twitter, Cultural Confederacy at Twitter. So according to Fox News, here's the headline: guilty. Jussie Smollett, who I call Juicy Snowman because it's Christmas. His empire has fallen after learning fate in fake hate crime attack to help boost career. And I have no doubt this was a publicity stunt. That's exactly what this is. Or what he tried to pull at in 2019. For some reason, I keep thinking that this happened last year, but it was 2019. So it says here, Jussie Smollett, Juicy Snowman, guilty on 5 of the 6 charges in the alleged hate crime hoax. Jussie Snowman has been found guilty on 5 out of 6 charges in the alleged hate crime hoax trial. The jury found Jussie Snowman guilty on the first 5 counts and not guilty on the last one after a contentious week of witness testimony, counsel arguments, and deliberation. The 39-year-old Empire alum was charged with 6 counts of disorderly conduct related to false statements to Chicago police officers in regard to a 2019 hate crime against himself. Anybody else want to laugh at that? In 2019, he claimed that 2 men attacked him due to his skin color and sexual orientation. And they got a picture of him here looking all sad and frustrated, and he's the victim. Since being accused of staging the attack, Jussie Snowman has maintained his innocence and said during his 2-day testimony that, quote, there was no hate crime hoax from my standpoint. Prosecutors, however, argued that Jussie Snowman carried out a, quote, dry run of the attack the day before it occurred in 2019. Among the surprising claims made in Jussie Snowman's testimony was a revelation that the actor received a text from CNN's Don Lemon, supposedly relaying information that the Chicago Police Department didn't believe Jussie Snowman's account of what happened. Additionally, he pushed back against testimonies from, let me pronounce his name here, Bola Asundario, one of the alleged attackers, claiming that he'd purchased drugs from the man and, quote, made out with him at a gay bathhouse. This looks like a made-for-TV movie of some kind. You know that's coming. You know that's coming. They're going to have the Jussie Smollett story. Asundario testified that he is not gay and their relationship was not sexual in nature. He also previously stated that he did not sell drugs to Jussie Snowman, but merely acquired them for him. Now let's see what they say in the comment section below. And of course, I'm not going to mention any names to protect the guilty here. Words of wisdom, true today as they were originally spoken, quote, I am afraid that there is a certain class of race problem solvers who don't want the patient to get well because as long as the disease holds out, they have not only an easy means of making a living, but also an easy medium through which, let me click on this where it says see more, make themselves prominent before the public. Booker T. Washington. Somebody replied back to this post, that quote rings as true today as it did many years ago, and I never get tired of reading it. Amen. Puzzles solved, somebody else writes. Quote, racism is not dead, but it is on life support, kept alive by politicians, race hustlers, and people who get a sense of superiority by denouncing others as racist. I got to share the story with you, just to prove a point here, that America is not racist, sexist, and homophobic. Last night, I didn't know what to do for dinner, so I said, I'll order a pizza. I didn't feel like, I had this plan to go maybe to Walmart the following day, today, Thursday, and I thought, I just want to stick around the house. It's been a busy week at work, so I ordered a pizza. Wonderful lady I talked to delivered my pizza. Turns out she's from Texas. She saw that I had my Confederate battle flag on my wall. She told me that one of her relatives, I can't remember exactly who, he was a prominent person in Texas. So she's from Texas originally. And at his funeral, get this, at his funeral, half of the people who showed up, there were 5,000 people. Imagine that, 5,000 people that showed up to this person's funeral. Half of them were Native American. The other half were white or of European descent, Caucasian. And guess what? No bloodshed was spilled. And they all carried Confederate battle flags and Bonnie Blue flags and the Texas state flag. So that just goes to show you that there is unity in this country. Don't buy into this garbage. Now, like I said, we are not a perfect country. Never have been. But this is the greatest country on the planet, and I would not want to live anywhere else. In fact, I was on Twitter earlier talking with somebody about this because, of course, they're all talking about white privilege. And they talk about white privilege, but they never bother telling you exactly how you have white privilege if you're white. And I wrote back and I said, look, I lost everything I owned, which is true. My apartment building burned down when I lived out west. There wasn't a good job market at the time. This is back in 2012. Housing prices were through the roof, or the rents were going up. And I said, there's got to be something better for me. And I said, well, let me move to another part of the country. And I took $1,500 in my pocket with a suitcase and traveled halfway across the country by train, by bus, to make a better life for myself. So you can make it in this country. I understand that you have countries on this planet who are still living or are being run by these oppressive regimes. But why do you think people are risking life and limb to get here? Because they know of the opportunities that we have in this country. And I talk about on this series all the time about preserving our history and culture as Americans, celebrating great art, great music, bringing to light music by lesser-known composers. That's what we do on this channel. But if I'm a guy, just a regular guy, I don't drive a limo, I don't live in a mansion. But if I'm a guy who was down on his luck, who said, there's something better for me, I'm going to do what it takes to get that. And I take $1,500 or whatever I have left in the bank and a suitcase and in a tote bag and travel across country by train and bus to make a better life for myself, then you can do it too. And let this be a lesson to any of those of you out there who want to pull this type of hoax. Now, the first thing that should have set you off about this whole thing with Jussie Snowman is that he said the two attackers claimed that when he was in Chicago, this is where he got attacked, that it was MAGA country. And everybody knows that Chicago is a Democrat stronghold. So let's go to CNN, see what CNN has to say before I go off the deep end here. CNN, breaking news. Every time you turn on CNN, it's always breaking news. The smallest headline is breaking news on CNN for some reason. All right, come on, hurry up. Anybody else having internet issues lately or Wi-Fi issues? What's going on with that? Okay, Jussie Snowman guilty on some charges. Don't you love CNN? Former Empire actor has been found guilty on 5 counts of disorderly conduct for making false reports to the police that he was the victim of a hate crime. Jury deliberated for more than 9 hours over Wednesday and Thursday. So here's a headline. Actor Jussie Smollett, found guilty of lying to police in hate crime hoax, as they call it. Actor Jussie Snowman has been found guilty on 5 of 6 felony counts of disorderly conduct for making a false report to Chicago police that he was the victim of a hate crime in January 2019, an attack prosecutors said he staged. The jury of 6 men and 6 women deliberated for more than 9 hours over Wednesday and Thursday. The disorderly conduct charge for a false crime report is a Class 4 felony and punishable by up to 3 years in prison and a $25,000 fine. Cook County Judge James Lynn will have discretion in imposing a concurrent or consecutive sentence for each count at a later date. On January 29, 2019, Jussie Snowman, who is gay and black, told authorities he was the victim of a racist and homophobic attack near his Chicago apartment early that morning. After the story broke, many celebrities, politicians, and advocacy groups rallied behind the 29-year-old actor, who, according to police, said the alleged attackers attacked him at 2 a.m. as he walked back from a Subway sandwich shop. Chicago police investigated the case as a possible hate crime, but soon said the actor orchestrated the incident. They said he paid 2 brothers he knew from the TV show Empire to stage the incident for publicity, and Jussie Snowman said he paid the brothers for training advice and nutritional tips. I mean, if you're wanting training advice and nutritional tips, hire 2 people to, or nutritional tips. Did I say trips? Well, he was taking a nutritional trip is what he was taking. He was going to Subway. As it turns out, Subway is not really all that healthy for you because of all the extra stuff you put on your sandwich and stuff or request when you order it. The brothers Bola and Ola Osundario were among 7 witnesses for the prosecution. The brothers testified that Jussie Snowman directed them and paid them to stage the attack in an attempt to get media attention. They said that they fake punched him, poured bleach on him, put a noose around his neck, and used racist and homophobic slurs because he told them to. All right, now, before the video runs out, I run out of time here, let me run to Breitbart and see what Breitbart has to say here. Go around the website here, the headlines. Justice for, oh, this is great, love it. Justice for Jussie. Justice, what a great headline. Justice for Jussie. You gotta go to Breitbart to see this. Justice for Jussie. Jussie Smollett, found guilty in hate crime hoax trial. Oh, and they got a picture of him singing. He's really getting into it with the microphone there. Jussie Snowman found guilty in hate crime hoax trial. A jury found disgraced actor and former Empire star Jussie Snowman guilty on 5 of 6 charges in a case where he is accused of staging an anti-gay racist attack on himself nearly 3 years ago and then lied to Chicago police about it. The verdict came after a roughly 1-week trial in which 2 brothers testified that Jussie Snowman recruited them to fake an attack on him near his home in downtown Chicago in January 2019, and Jussie Snowman repeatedly denied the claims. The brothers said Jussie Snowman orchestrated the hoax, telling them to put a noose around his neck and rough him up in view of a surveillance camera, and then he said he wanted video of the hoax made public via social media. Jussie Snowman called the brothers liars and said their account was 100% false. He testified over 2 days about being the victim of what he said was a hate crime, telling the jury, quote, there was no hoax. I'm trying to pronounce this name here. Abimbola. Okay, let me try this here. Abimbola Osundario, who worked with Jussie Snowman on the Chicago set of Empire, and his brother, Olembingo Osundario, also testified that Jussie Snowman paid them $3,500 for faking the attack. Jussie Snowman said the money was for meal and workout plans that Abimbola Osundario was providing so the actor could be more toned up for upcoming performances. He has got to look his best for the camera because it's gay, you know. I'm having fun here, folks. Oh, man. All right, let's go to Twitter. Let's end this thing with Twitter here because I want to see what they're saying on Twitter. All right. Okay, look at the headline here. Jussie Smollett verdict. Jussie Snowman verdict. Just taking me a moment to type this in. And once again, don't forget to click that like button, subscribe, hit me up on Instagram at #JasonComposes. You can leave comments below. Now you can reach me at Twitter, Culture Confederacy at Twitter. Okay, I gotta put in Jussie Smollett verdict. What are they saying about the Jussie Snowman? Okay, AP breaking. This is on Twitter. Former Empire actor Jussie Snowman was convicted on charges that he staged an anti-gay racist attack on himself nearly 3 years ago and then lied to Chicago police about it. Remember the interview with Robin Roberts? So somebody chimes in here. Robin Roberts, Don Lemon, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden. Any comments on the Jussie Snowman guilty verdict? That's great. O.J. Simpson jury. Here's another one. O.J. Simpson jury came to a verdict within less than 4 hours. Jussie Snowman is on 2 days of jury deliberations. This was 3 hours ago. So there isn't a lot of comments in here. I thought there'd be more comments in this here on Twitter, but this is just breaking. Oh, I got a notification. Let's see what it says here. Yeah, this is my exchange I had with somebody about white privilege, and they write back and say ignorance is bliss. After I told them, I love that. I got them here because I told them, just as I told you a few minutes ago, that I had $1,500. I lost everything I owned because I had an apartment building, or lost my apartment during an apartment building fire. Ended up with $1,500 in my pocket, and went across country by train and bus with a suitcase and a tote bag to make a new life for myself. Trying to make the point that I do not have white privilege, and they just wrote back and said ignorance is bliss. So there you go, folks. That's what you're dealing with on Twitter. So this is the Culture Confederacy saying peace out, stay safe, everybody. God bless this great country. Thank you for being with me. Thought I'd come here and give you the latest, this verdict in the Jussie Snowman trial. And you all have a great week. I don't know if I'm going to post something tomorrow or not, but I'll see what I can come up with, work my magic. So there may or may not be a video tomorrow, but thank you once again for being with me. Culture Confederacy saying peace out, and you all have a good night.